welcome to it's not a live Friday Waffle, well technically
Semi-live.
we are alive doing this obviously, we've not died, but it's not going out live. So, delighted to have my old mucker, Mr. Campbell. Dave,
hello.
How you doing, Squire?
I'm doing alright, yes.
Good stuff.
Dave's
popped in to see me and we thought we'll take advantage of having us both together and we'll do a live waffle of sorts.
Indeed.
That's exactly what we're going to do. Right, Archie, you can go and lie down. I've got a dog that wants to take part in the video. Go and lie down and stop it. So anyway, how are things? How
doing alright, mate. It's been a busy period.
You just recently moved, recently moved house. When did you,
yeah,
when did you move?
It was about 7 months ago, but it's been chaos for 7 months. So finally got my games room kind of back together and a few projects on the side. So it's just been busy with work in the house really. So
well, you've got my commiserations as you probably know, and I know you guys know that I moved house August. What month did you move?
September.
September, aye. So yeah, I know exactly what it's like. Getting your house together and all that, but
too much
takes
stuff.
time. I know.
Too much stuff.
Having an absolutely humongous games collection doesn't help. Although you did you not? You recently sort of downsized your collection
I
quite a bit.
sold off a lot of my stuff. It took me about 6 weeks to empty my loft. It was just
I think I bought half it, didn't I?
Pretty much, aye. But yeah, I sold off a load of stuff. I really only kept the stuff that was kind of special to me or that I would play. So the systems that I had bought kind of out of curiosity, they all got kind of sold off because I'd had my fun with them and they'd sat on the shelf for months, years. So it was
had you not moved, would that have been something that you would have probably done eventually, or was that a good excuse? The fact that you're moving, the fact that you had to take everything out of the loft, you thought there's no point in taking that to a new house and putting it up in a loft.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it was a great kind of catharsis getting rid of it all, because there was stuff I hadn't looked at for years, and there was stuff for the computers I've kept. Like I had a load of Amstrad stuff, disk drives and that kind of thing that I never used.
Have you still got an Amstrad?
Yes.
Still, because that was your machine.
That was my machine. Yeah. So I've kept that and. I've still got all the games and everything for it, but it was good to get rid of it, and because I think in my old place I'd kind of got a little bit of gaming burnout, and there was just too much stuff. You know, you go into your room, you have a look, and there's just hundreds of games, and you can't find anything.
I call it PlayStation syndrome. You know, you've just got so many games, especially when it got to a point where you had like these big massive wallets of discs.
It was just nuts.
You're flicking through them, and it's like. Yeah,
that's the thing, back in the day you maybe had 20 games if you were lucky, and you spent ages playing them all. You know, but now you just think, I don't know what to play, I can't be bothered, or you chuck something on for 5 minutes and then you think I can't be bothered with this, I'll go and play something else. And it's just a pain, so yeah. But it was good to get rid of a lot of stuff. Like I say, I've kept the stuff that was special to me.
Yeah, that you're going to use, yeah.
And I made enough money to get Pickford to shift all my stuff, so I didn't have to do it, which was great. So
that was good. Is that what the games collection paid for?
That's what the games collection, because Pickford's only cheap, but so Retro paid for my house move, so that was alright.
Oh, good. So you've got a nice kind of streamline. So I've obviously not been to your new house yet. Is your collection now in a place where you can actually use it? Is it all kind of set up, or?
Yeah, so I've got the computers and all that kind of stuff. The stuff's basically out in the room, but it's not all connected up. So I've got a CRT telly in one corner, and obviously all the old consoles and stuff get played on that. I've got an LCD that the PS4 and the Switch are connected to, so they're always connected to it.
Aye.
But the retro stuff, I just kind of pick what I want to play
and you can,
it up,
and it's quite easy to play. Hang on, I'm going to move this. Now you go and lie down, or you're going to get put down. Go and lie behind. If anybody wants a free dog, he's ready for collection. I keep saying my sisters keep saying to me, "What do you want for Christmas time?" And I'm like, I don't know. And I says, "Look, get me vouchers for pets at home." He says, why is that? I says, because when they do a 2-for-1 to get dogs put to sleep, they two are getting put away. I'm kidding.
I'm just a big suit.
I wonder how many down thumbs we'll get for this video. So anyway.
I love dogs.
So what we've got here is we've got a couple of we're going to answer. I know we've got a few questions from a couple of waffles, so I don't think I answered any questions last week. We'll go over some of the questions, but Dave and I have pulled together a few kind of topics
yes.
that we're going to.
Because nobody asked me any questions. They just listen to me talking crap for a couple of hours and then that's it. So ask me questions if you want.
Yeah, so as I know. I mean, I literally got burned out with the Friday Waffle, as people know. I mean, it got to a point where I would sometimes be, setting the camera up and I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? And see when something becomes forced, that you've really got to try and think of something to talk about. That's when you think.
That's why. I mean, I was putting out videos fairly constant when I had loads of stuff to talk about, and then like you, it kind of dried up. So there's kind of gaps of up to 2 months between some of my videos, just because I thought I've got nothing to actually talk about. I've not been buying stuff. There's no point, just talking about something for the sake of it. So.
There's always, I mean, it's amazing if you actually stop and think about different dimensions. There's always different angles to come in with retro gaming. There's always different. I mean, I always remember one of my favourite videos I put out a long time ago was this. I think I called it the quintessential or the definitive answer. What is the best 8-bit micro? Of course, it was a Commodore 64, obviously. But
rubbish. Right.
But it might have been the Atari. In fact, this is one we weren't going to discuss. In your humble opinion, what would you, if you had to? I don't mean what one you've got the most nostalgia for, or what one you enjoy the most. I don't know. Do you own all the 8-bit machines?
I have done over time.
Aye. What would you say was probably the best 8-bit micro as far as?
It's a very subjective question because I've got.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons for all of them. If you could merge all of them together, you'd have the ultimate 8-bit machine.
I mean, it's all about, as we know, exactly. As we know, like Betamax videos and that, it's not always the best hardware that wins.
No, because the C64 hands down for audio. I love the HD graphics, or HD high definition graphics at the Specky. Favourite version of Green Berets on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
I love the Amstrad for the colour palette when it's used right and things like that.
They've all got strengths. I think Amstrad's probably got one of the nicest colour palettes, eh?
Yeah, I think it's got the most. It's got 26 colours.
Is it? Aye.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a really hard one. The C64 had some cracking games. I would be really pushed to pick my favourite one, because naturally I'd say the Amstrad, but at the same time there are some ports on the Amstrad that are just awful.
Yeah, the Amstrad was very much some of the games were just truly awful because I think they both have the Z80 processor, so a lot of
the Specky shared the same processor.
Yeah, and I think it was at the MSX1, I think it was, that used to a lot of the games when I did like Marquee Perfect My Arse's, I would just look at the Spectrum one and I'd put the MSX and I thought, have I loaded the wrong machine, and then realised they were exactly the same.
One thing I will say that would be my ultimate 8-bit keyboard, which is probably something you've never thought about.
Ooh, I'm probably thinking the BBC with it.
It would be the MSX.
Is that right?
Aye. The MSX has got this lovely. My mate had an MSX. I never had one, but my mate had I think it was a Sony MSX, and it was the one that had kind of green and blue keys and white. And
I've got an MSX upstairs. Yeah.
I'll maybe get a shot at time on it later because I've not had a shot at one for years. But I remember the keys feeling like, I don't know, like Opal fruit. Or Starburst for all you young people, but just feeling kind of, no spongy but nice to type on. And
let's just pause this video. We'll do a quick jump cut back in a tin.
Right, okay.
Grab it and you can put it. You can try it out. Ta-da!
Right, here we go.
I bought this off Richard at the club.
All right.
I've not even opened it. Might leave me inside it. You know what I mean?
It's just a box of bricks.
Let's have a look. So this is
scammed.
The Sony Hitbit.
There you go.
You can't beat old machines, eh? Let's have a look. I know, an unboxing. Play with it, learn with it. That's like one word, with it.
Play with it.
Work with it, live with it.
You could be describing many things.
Sounds like a woman, doesn't it? Grow up with it. There we go, right, MSX Hitbit.
Is it a bonus unboxing here?
I know. Let's have a look.
Let's move the juice out the road just in case.
Yeah, right. And let's put it to the test and see if the keyboard is indeed
how I remember it.
Rubbish or not. There's a fair bit of weight in it though.
I've not seen one of these for years. So the one my mate had was slightly different.
But actually quite nice.
It's the same layout. But the keys were different colour. Jesus.
I know.
Wouldn't need to go to the gym if you ever need. bench press on MSX. Aye, see that? Oh yes.
Was it? Was it Kenny?
The keys on there is angled as I remember it, so I mean obviously you'd be sitting.
But then obviously the MSX was like the sort of VHS, wasn't it, of computers? There was multiple. Panasonic had them. Did Microsoft bring it one, or
I think
Toshiba? I think I had a Toshiba one at one point.
Yeah, I think everybody had a shot at one.
Aye. I didn't actually realise I had a Sony had one.
See that noise? I don't know if the cameras will pick that up.
That's the kind of noise that you get in a secretary typing a letter. It's like if you go for a bank loan.
Aye.
Computer says no.
Nah, it is a nice feeling keyboard. It's not quite as these are mechanical keys. I don't think the one that my mate had was mechanical, but it made that nice noise.
Aye.
And I've not found a keyboard yet that makes the same kind of noise because the Amstrad is quite no metallic, but it's a lot sharper than that. It's a lot more plasticky.
See the Computer 64, yeah. Although the keyboards, although the Amstrad and the C64 had like fully functional keyboards, they weren't the greatest quality.
Yeah. But no, that's a nice keyboard. Keyboard fetish.
That's quite nice. I think my favourite would have to be the BBC. I mean, that was obviously the one that we all used as kids.
This has got a bullshit keyboard.
Yes.
That says BS on it for all the kind of key. Take that for bullshit. Man.
So there we go. We'll need to actually do a look at. I don't even know if it works. But I know where Richard stays in. It doesn't work. Actually, I swapped the Dreamcast for this.
That's a good deal.
So, yeah. Aye, nice.
That's a good bit of nostalgia.
There we go.
Super.
A little bonus unboxing. So yeah, where are we getting back on track? I'm talking about
Yeah,
keyboards.
yeah,
I'm talking about the best 8-bit
machine.
machine. I think for me, I mean, one thing that I've kind of learned over the last 3-4 years, I've kind of go back. When I was a lad, and I had my C64, my mate had a Spectrum, and I remember absolutely genuinely, I couldn't believe how crap the Spectrum looked, because I had this proper keyboard with like proper keyboard, and you know, and then I saw like Mamemeister and all this colour bleeding, and I just thought that looks absolutely awful.
Aye, but you try and play Jetpack on anything other than a Spectrum, it feels wrong.
No, and having, you know, over the last sort of few years, I've now, luckily enough, I've got a few Spectrums. In fact, I sold a few of them, but the Spectrum's an absolutely brilliant machine.
And for me, it's going to be the 48, the wee rubber, the dead keyboard.
Absolutely.
Whilst the other ones, like the 1280 and all that kind of stuff's obviously technically better, it's the nostalgia for the wee one. My mate had the wee one. That's the thing, back in the day, between all your pals, you pretty much had all the computers.
Aye, them all covered.
You can play something different in each other's house. Now everybody's just got everything.
Nah, well that's very true, but nah, I've certainly, I mean, what was I doing? I did a video, I can't remember what I was playing, but there are certain games that have to be played on a specific computer, like Mamemeister, Jetpack, it's got to be the Spectrum.
Aye.
Absolutely, probably Chucky Egg's got to be the Spectrum.
Aye. Although it was BBC for Chucky Egg.
Aye, well that's, I think the jury's out in that one.
We used to play it in chemistry at high school. We used to swing at the BBC every now and then, and you play Chucky Egg and all that.
Did that originally come out in the BBC, or was it?
I think it was written for the BBC.
Aye.
So that's where my nostalgia lies for Chucky Egg. But I've got a conversion of Jetpack. Somebody did a homebrew conversion of Jetpack for the Amstrad.
No, really? Aye.
And it looked pretty good, but as much as I love my Amstrad, it's not the same as the Spec. I mean, it's pretty much same speed and all that, but the laser effects and stuff don't look quite right. You know, like that cracking laser effect that you used to get as you were getting jumping about. So it's pretty good.
Thing is,
it's not the Spectrum. So
part of the flaws of the Spectrum is what makes it so.
Aye, that wee beeper noise.
It makes it so quirky. It makes it so appealing. Yeah, I think the Spectrum. I mean, if somebody was to say to me, I mean, personally, I would always go for the C64 because it was a machine I owned.
Aye.
But there are so many awesome games in the Spectrum.
Oh,
you know that they work.
Yeah.
And even like the wee, I'm sure you were actually making some of the noises in one of your videos, the wee quirky beeps and farts. It's just they're quintessentially Spectrum.
It was all just wee clicks on. Jumps and stuff, minor jumping things, but aye,
it was quite impressive. But I think as far as hardware goes, the Atari 8-bit is. Have you had much
you know
dealings with an Atari?
I haven't, and I kind of wish I did, because I was an Atari guy.
It's awesome. Ataris are amazing machines. They really are. Because they had a big colour palette. I don't know how many colours. If anybody knows how many colours the Atari had.
I mean, I grew up with the 2600. That was my first machine, so I had huge love for Atari. But the trouble was that the Atari 8-bit machines didn't really. I never saw one. Like
they weren't really that common.
It was the Amstrad and the Spectrum were really prolific at the time when I remember looking at computers, because Alan Sugar chucked Amstrads in everywhere. So I never saw an Atari 8-bit. The first Atari I saw after the 2600 was an ST with a black monitor. My mate had a 12-inch black monitor, black and white monitor on it. But so I've never actually played an Atari 8-bit in the flesh. But I mean, I do love Atari stuff. They knew how to do it.
Aye.
Not now, but
aye, no, sadly not. I know. Yeah, I mean, I think the Atari. The problem with Atari was, I mean, it came out. I mean, it was streets ahead of its time. I mean, I think the original Atari 400. I think the 400 and 800 came out at the same time. I think.
Yeah, well, they just know slightly better one had like. Well,
I had more memory. Plus the keyboard. Have you seen the keyboard of the Atari 800?
Is one of them no like wee pills and stuff on it, or I know one of them.
I one's got the membrane. Have you seen the keyboard in that?
No.
Right.
Jump cut.
This is turning a keyboard special. Ta-da!
This is like the retro gaming memories Mamemeister keyboard fetish edition.
If you think that, I'm going to say if you feel this bad boy.
Jesus Christ. I'm a Schwarzenegger with that.
I know, that is Atari 800. That was a computer that. It was the very, very first computer that I saw, and it was just like, wow, try the keyboard on that, it's awesome.
Uh-oh.
That's nice, eh?
It's very like the BBC keyboard.
Yeah.
But it's not got as much play as the BBC keyboard.
This
really is a keyboard fetish episode.
Excellent.
You should get some fucking nice slow motion.
Some porn music or something like that. I mean, what other computers have got like actual...
Oh my god, proper trapdoors. I don't know.
Metal.
You've probably seen this before. This would survive a nuclear holocaust.
That is awesome. That is the tank edition. So yeah, I think in fact I mean this just absolutely gets the nostalgia here in my back.
Atari key, I love it.
Sunningvale, California.
Sunningvale, California.
Beautiful. I mean, does it actually say the one D in it?
This is when I look angry at everything because I've not got my glasses on.
You can't see it. I think it was probably...
They used to do codes, well in the 2600 used to be the dates, but it'll be different for this. There's no actual date on it.
Nah. I'm sure the Atari, I think the Atari 400 and 800 came out at the same time, but they came out roughly, I think...
It was Warner Communications, that was kind of post 83 I think, or 82 that Warner took them over. So it'd be 83, 84 maybe?
Was it? Was really, aye. In fact, you know what, let's do the wonders of Google, let's just have a quick look to see what it actually says.
Yeah, I just look blind when I look at these things because I had to get glasses recently, like reading glasses. Because
I'm exactly the same.
I need to do that, either that thing or kind of look really angry and try and focus. People think I get really angry at like cold meat and that in the supermarket because I kind of sit and growl at it as I try and focus on the day.
Here we go. The Atari 8-bit family is a series of 8-bit home computers manufactured in 1992. Let's have a look. 8-bit family. Right, according to that, the Atari 800 featured a full keyboard and dual cartridge slot. 1979 it came out.
1979?
To 1984, yeah, I knew that. Right. Yeah, so there you go. So I mean that came out about 3-4 years before the Spectrum, and the same as the Commodore 64, and you know it was way ahead of its time. It really was. But the downside to that was obviously the price. I mean, I think in the UK it was probably about £400-500, so nobody could afford them.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sir Clive came along with his rubber cage Spectrum and just stole the market. But yeah, so you hardly ever saw any of these machines, but they're beautiful, and I always kind of think they're similar to the Amstrad. There are some absolutely truly horrific games, especially some of the more later games like US Gold Point. It was terrible. I think because it was a very small marketplace, they probably didn't think they had to put much effort in.
I know, I mean, that's the thing. Atari had enough first party titles, like all the classic arcade stuff, all got ported to Galaxian and all that.
That's right, yeah.
My favourite game, so. So yes, and I love the cartridges. How do you open this? Is it just a
press that push it down, I think, there we go.
And you just pop this
left cartridge, that just lifts out, aye.
Look at that. I love cartridge. Oh, I like that.
But anyway, to any of these kids who are 20 something who wear Atari t-shirts, that's what Atari is. It's not a t-shirt, it's that, it's not to do with bloody fancy clothes.
I love even the Atari logo inside, but I mean the attention to detail. That's why it was 400 quid, probably all these kids, because that's like screen printed onto that, it's not a sticker.
Aye, was that really? Really? The thing is, that would have been sold as a business machine.
Yeah.
But then the piece de resistance was, how many joystick ports did the Amstrad have?
One. You have to buy the JY1 or JY2 Amstrad joystick to get a second port.
And how many did the Commodore 64 have? 2. Flip that bad boy over and once you get
let me just tickle his ass. There we go, right.
Flip that bad boy over. Not 1, but 4.
About 20 years before the N64.
There you go. I know. 4 joystick
ports. My God.
So it must have been sold. It must have been sold as a games machine as well, then, surely.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, Atari were doing multiplayer games because they had like on the 2600, you could play Warlords, which was a 4-player game, with 2 sets of paddles, because the 2 paddles went into one joystick port, and it was clever enough. It knew who was doing what. So yeah, you have the four ports.
Interesting to know how many games actually supported that.
Aye.
I don't think there's any other home computer that actually had supported 4 joysticks.
No, because if you wanted to play that kind of level of stuff, you'd have people crammed round 2 bits of the keyboard and the card and 4 joysticks and stuff.
I know so.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what games actually supported it. I'm guessing probably a few arcade ports and things, but I don't know about like original titles.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with the Amstrad, with the Atari 8-bit kind of software catalogue, apart from the first party stuff. But
you're talking about, downsizing collection and about stuff you never used. I never ever used that. Ever. I mean, I've got an Atari. I've got an Atari 130 XL, which is a lot lighter, easier to use. I've also got the 800.
Kind of brown bit on the top, or was that 800?
I've got the 800 XL, which is the kind of, it's got silver
just a slot cartridge or something.
Aye, that's right. And then the later one was the 130 XL, which has got 128 memory, I think it is. So I tend to use them, but you know what? I'll never ever get rid of that, because that was the very first computer that I ever set eyes on. I remember seeing Bruce Lee run on, and that to me is just.
I think Bruce Lee was written for the Atari.
It was, and that's 100% got the best version. He's actually got proper skin colour.
Alright.
It's awesome. And like Drop Zone, as Archer McLean famously said in the first edition of Zap 64, which is a Commodore 64 magazine. He said he was talking about Drop Zone, but he did say but the Atari one is much better because it's a much better computer to program for, which upset lots of people. But it's
the only time I saw one of these before now was there's a YouTube channel called John's Arcade. I don't know if you've ever watched it. A guy in America, and he did a series of these because this was his computer growing up, and he used to run like bulletin boards where you could download hooky software and all that kind of stuff. So I'd seen him using one, but I've never actually seen one in the flesh.
That's an awesome
thing. Didn't need to go to the gym after this. There you go. Get that, and one checks another, and you're off.
Right, we'll stick that down there. So anyway, no more jump cuts, honest. So yeah, we've come to the conclusion. I would say that Atari 800 is probably the technical wise, it's probably the most impressive computer.
I would like you have that seen as an Atari. I should be, well, I'm wearing an Atari t-shirt off sorts. I've usually got my Atari logo t-shirt on, but you know.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
You were going to do some questions,
We're going to do some. Well, listen, we'll start with one of the topics. One of the first ones I've got here is emulation over original machines.
Yes.
Not so much. Well, what's, in your opinion, what would you say are the advantages, or do you emulate much?
No.
Things going. You don't really.
It's the quick answer. No, I used to emulate everything back in the day. That's not true. The only thing I actually emulate is arcade and pinball.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah. But but as for games machines and stuff, I don't actually emulate anything. I did have I've still got it, an Ouya. Once you've seen that, the wee cube thing. The game were selling them off for like 29 quid, so I bought one.
Oh wait a minute, I'm saying I know what it is. I've heard of it. What is it again?
It's a wee cube. Yeah, it's a cube about that size. And it runs an Android-based operating system. And it was supposed to have a store like the Google store that you could download stuff. It's all kind of died in its arse.
Yeah.
But you can still sideload it with Android games and stuff. But I've got like a TurboGrafx emulator on that because I can't afford to buy a TurboGrafx machine in the games and stuff. So, but yeah, emulation wise, I don't really emulate anything else, primarily because I've got all the machines that I want to have. And for me, the whole thing about playing games now is that now that I've got a wee bit more space and a wee bit more money to buy these things, it's always been for me about the interface to the game, so your controller.
It's a whole experience, isn't it, rather than just the game? Yeah.
Because even when I used to emulate, I bought a lot of, like, I had a SNES controller and I had a Mega Drive controller, USB controllers and stuff, just so you have the same kind of input experience. Because playing a Mega Drive with a keyboard's just weird.
Nah. It's just
So, but it's great to be able to do it. Sometimes dip into emulators to try games that I've never played before, just to give them a quick shot and see if I like them or whatever, and then I'll generally go and buy them. But what about yourself?
Aye, I mean, I started off with emulation. I'm trying to think, pretty much from when actually before the internet became a thing. I remember I had my Commodore Amiga at that point, and then I saw in the back, it was like the back of the magazine, it was like spec, and I didn't even know what an emulator was. I'd never heard of the word emulation. It was like, play Spectrum games on your Amiga. It's like, what? And I sent off, it was like public domain, sent off like £5 and I got these 2 floppy disks. And I had like this Spectrum thing and it ran like night low. They ran at like 30%.
Aye.
But it still blew my socks off
that
that
do it.
I was playing another machine's games.
Aye.
And I was just fascinated with it. And then I remember thinking, oh, imagine getting a Commodore 64 one. I eventually did get a Commodore 64 one. And it wasn't bad, but then everything changed big still when I got the internet in 1997. And I was going to say Googled. It was Yahoo or something.
You asked Jeeves.
I put my AOL. No, what was it called? No, what were all these discs used to get in supermarkets? Was it AOL?
CompuServe. CompuServe.
You don't begin with an A. What was it called again?
There was AOL.
Maybe it was AOL. And you always you'd register with a different email address, so you got like a free trial. But I discovered, before long, it was like Commodore 64, and then I downloaded a C64 emulator, and then, there was an amazing website, similar name to yourself, Dave Arcade Classics. Did you remember that? It was called? It's called Dave's Arcade Classics, and he just had different sections, MAME, and there were all the ROMs. And this was before I had the internet at home, and I had my office. I had my own office in the job I was in, and I threw petty cash. I bought myself some floppy disks, and I seen at lunchtime. I used to be like working on a spreadsheet, but I would be downloading all these ROMs in the back and sticking onto floppy disks, taking it home, transferring them across. But then, just over the preceding years, I got to know what emulation was, and I was running Neo Geo games probably 20 years ago, and so emulation was an amazing thing. It suddenly it gave me an opportunity to discover all these systems and computers I'd never played before, and
that was a great thing.
Because one thing that maybe some people don't quite grasp, and you've probably been the same, Dave. Back in the day, you had one system.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get a new system, you had to sell it and then put money towards it and get another system. So you could never ever, none of us were rich enough to have more than one system.
No.
So if I wanted, when I got rid of my Commodore 64, I had to sell it, get an Atari ST, sell the ST, get an Amiga, sell the Amiga, get a SNES, whatever it was. And
I know that was it. I mean, your only exposure to different machines was if your pal had a different machine. But discovering the emulation thing, I remember actually when you were talking about it there, that I had the Spectrum emulator for the Amiga as well. Got that.
Did it ever get up to full speed?
You can get it almost full speed with an 030 accelerator.
You need an accelerator to run it.
Mad. But the mad thing is I mean, when same kind of thing as you, when back in the day I didn't have the internet, and it was my mate was a student at Edinburgh University, and they had their computer labs, and they had the internet, and they said, do you want to come up and try the internet? I'm like, what's the internet? what is this magic portal you're talking about? And we went up, and I took some Amiga floppy disks with me, because I still had my Amiga at the time, and they had a lab with Apple Macs in it, and he used to kind of sneak me in, because I wasn't a student, and he used to sneak me in, and the Mac would read the Amiga floppy disk, so I could download bits and bobs. I used to download stuff off the Aminet and that for the Amiga utilities and things like that. But then when I later on discovered like MAME and things like that, and I'm like, oh my god, I can play these arcade. I've been searching for these proper arcade games for years.
That just blew my mind. That blew my mind.
But quick funny story. When I first met Jax, I used to pop through and see her at the weekend and all that kind of stuff. And she was working a part-time job, so I would kick about the house. And she had a PC, so I brought stuff through to keep myself occupied, and I installed an Amstrad emulator because I thought I'd just sit and have a shot at that. And it was called Caprice.
Yeah.
That was the name of the emulator. So that was all fine, and I played some games and all that kind of stuff, installed it, and that was fine. And it wasn't until I was home when she phoned me and she says, do you like Caprice? I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, a supermodel. Eh? She says, there's a folder on my computer called Caprice. What is that? I'm like, I'm thinking, what? And then I went, it's an Amstrad emulator. So, yeah, that's...
Let off the hook.
Aye, that's it.
You were in the doghouse for a couple of years, were you?
I know, I think she knew then that I was just a complete nerd.
What was the reason for Caprice? Was that one of the chips or something in it? Or?
No, I think it was just because it was CPC, and then whoever wrote the emulator, just
Chinese takeaway from some boiled rice or something. You know, like Caprice.
Caprice, that'll do. Aye, rice or whatever. I don't know, but I don't know why.
That'll do. I know, like a lot of the back in the day. Have you ever watched the? I don't even know what it's called. There was a film all about the making of the Amiga, and it was all the guys that came together. And
there's Dave Haney did the Deathbed Vigil. I don't know if you've seen that. Well,
was that the one where the guy was wanting the camcorder at the very, very end, and going into offices just before they close? I've seen that. It's quite sad, actually.
So I think it was filmed by Dave Haney, who was one of the chief engineers at Commodore. But I've not seen one about the making of the Amiga, really.
I can't remember what it's called. There was one I watched.
There's a Bedrooms to Billions.
Aye.
The PlayStation one of that's coming out shortly next week.
Is there? Yeah, really, aye. Where are we going with this? Why was I talking about that? A lot of like the chips were named after like the secretary, like the Lisa chip.
Lisa and Agnes and all that kind of stuff.
If it was Scottish, it'd be Senga and Maisie or something.
Senga and Shanice.
Jessie.
Aye. Oh, good God, I know. It's scary to think, isn't it?
But I get back to emulation. So I mean, for many years, I built up, to my mind, this amazing collection of all these systems. And as you say, the day I discovered, I mean, I apologise now for repeating myself, but I can still remember. It's still one of these defining moments in my life when I got to discover MAME. My mate phoned me up. And he says, by the way, I've got this, my mate's got this disc which will blow your socks off. What do you mean, what is it? He says, it's got the original arcade games, Galaxy. I'm like, what do you mean the original? He says, it's not a copy, it's the arcade. And I'm like, no way. And anyway, a couple of weeks went by and he brought this disc through, and I loaded it up, and I think it was just on floppy disk. And I don't think I had any sound.
Aye.
But I can remember sitting in my bedroom just, it just, even now, I still get really excited when I talk about MAME.
I know. I mean, I'm kind of going through a thing now, and we'll maybe talk about this later on. But I'm kind of upgrading my arcade cabinet, so I've downloaded the latest version of MAME and stuff, and kind of getting the new ROMs and checking the work and all that. But it's still amazing that I can sit and play the original 1942 or Galaxian or whatever it is, and that it's arcade perfect.
Aye.
It would only be more arcade perfect if I had a 21-inch CRT monitor in my arcade.
Yeah, you get the purists that say, oh, no, that's crap, emulation, and then you get the emulation, you get the arcade, the hardware purists who I've got no time for, you know what I mean. I do understand, it's more fun playing it than that, but at the end of the day, it's still arcade.
It is, I mean, again, we'll talk about this a bit later on, but I would love to have an arcade of actual real machines.
Of course, would I.
But they're stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
You've got to have a degree in electronics to be able to maintain it. And I could probably learn about stuff. I'm alright with a soldering iron and I can burn ROMs and things like that, but you know, if the monitor goes, that was one thing I started watching that John's Arcade channel for, because he rebuilds arcade machines and stuff, and he's like, oh, the flybacks went on my monitor, and I'm like, what the hell's that? And he's like, don't touch it because it'll blow your head off. And it's like, you know, he's DDoSing monitors and discharging them, and I'm like, no. If my arcade cabinet falls in its arse, I get a new PC and I can just reinstall it, and I know what it does. You know, I'm not interested in kind of ripping it apart. So I would love to have a room full of original arcade cabinets, but it's just, I don't have the time to maintain them.
You better have the knowledge. I mean, when I moved into my house, I thought to myself, right, I'm a single bloke, I've got one place, let's get an arcade cabinet, why wouldn't you? So I asked a few of my mates, and one of my mates, Tony Temple, he restores arcade cabinets. He's got about 10 arcade cabinets that he's restored, and they're beautiful. In fact, he bought Archer McLean's Missile Command, and then he obviously broke the world record. He holds the world record for Missile Command. But I said to him, I says, I'm ideally on my bucket list. It was either going to be Berserk, Robotron, or Galaxian. It was going to be one of the three. And I was kind of debating myself, what to go for, and then I eventually thought it's got to be Galaxian, because that's the one. Although I don't play it that often, I mean, I love Robotron, I love Berserk. Galaxian to me is like, when people see the picture of the Space Invader, they think that's a sort of recognised graphic for a video game, Space Invader. I can still remember going down to Heathrow Airport with Mum and Dad, and away in the distance I could just see these cabinets, and you saw like the Starfield
just glistening away.
All the sound effects coming, it's like,
it's that iconic,
drawing me in. The swoop of noise, it was rocket hard, and to me that is the most perfect arcade game. And I thought if I was going to own any of these three, it would be that one. So anyway, I said to Tony, if he's I'm looking to get one, what do you think? And he says, I'm going to be honest with you, Al. He says, there's three things you need to, if you're wanting to get a Galaxian, there's three things you need to be aware of. He says, one, you need a big wallet. He says, you're probably talking £1,500. You're like, right, okay. He says, you need to know what you're doing, you need to be able to maintain it. He says, that's part and parcel. If you don't know how to maintain them, don't get it. He says, and thirdly, are you going to get bored of it? He says, because you're going to have a £1,500 thing sitting in the corner thinking, I've not played that for 2 weeks and it's cost me £1,500. He says, honestly, I always say you'd be better off getting a good MAME set up. And I says, well, I've already got one. He says, well, I would honestly stick with that. I mean, Tony's got a couple of MAME cabs as well that he uses. But yeah, you've got to be aware of that. And usually it's easy to, it's not easy, but you know, you could go and buy one and then go, oh shit, the motor's not working. What am I going to do?
And then you need to start chucking money at somebody who knows what they're doing. But I have to say that we were playing your main cabinet earlier on, and you just swapped. Well, I don't know, when did you do it?
About maybe 2-3 months ago.
So swapped out the joysticks because they were micro.
In fact, so I'm just going to interrupt for a second. You've all seen my main cab. You know how much I love it. It was this fine gentleman that actually hand built it for me.
Hand built, yes.
It was none of your pre-built crap off eBay.
Hand cut and designed, and
And I think, suffice to say, I think after you gave it to me, he said, I'm never going to do it ever again for anybody, ever.
No, so it's a one-off. There will
I think you sold yourself short, mate. I think your price was at 10 hours.
I know, it took me like a fortnight to build it, but these things are a kind of labour of love as well, so it was different because it's for a mate and that, and it's.
I think the fact that that was 2014. The fact that I play it probably more now, 4 years later, is probably payment enough to you that you know that I love it.
Well, that's it.
You know, it's
But it brings you enjoyment, that's the main
Yeah.
thing. But
So you get back to the buttons you were talking
yeah,
about,
so you swapped out the buttons.
Aye.
They were micro switch buttons and all that kind of stuff, and you swapped them out for leaf sticks and leaf buttons. And we were playing like Galaxy and things like that, and it makes such a difference because my main cab's still got Microsoft. I was going to say micro switched buttons, and when you're playing Galaxy, and if you're trying to get the triple shot with the kind of sentry shot,
yeah.
micro switches just won't hit it. They're not fast enough. But we were doing it no bother with your leaf switch.
Is there less playing it, or is it the type of switch?
I think it's just literally because you're pressing it to push in a switch, so that kind of delay between hitting it, whereas a leaf switch, as soon as you hit it,
Tap that.
you can tap it a lot quicker. So, and it feels more like an original
These, to let you understand, it was my mate Mike that's built all these sort of like bespoke joysticks. He got me the parts, and I think the joystick was only about £5. And the buttons are only like £2 or something. So
it feels great, and
they're not expensive.
It's worth it. And the thing is, I'm going to be doing again, we'll talk about this later, my main cab up, but it's worth investing a little bit of money in it to be able to play it properly and have it feel.
Well, it's all about the controls, right?
Yeah.
The controls are crap. Like the joystick, the original joystick, the left-hand joystick, it got to a point where sometimes you'd move left and it would just pause, and then it would be alright again. And that I just thought, I ended up not playing it again.
Yeah, so
I hated it because I thought I can't play it.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth that kind of investment. But build it with kind of cheaper components to start with until you get into it, and then you can upgrade it because the holes are all universal size. You just pop it in and put your kit in, so it's good for that aspect. So, but your cab feels great. And I'll be doing.
Well, I notice my high scores on most of my games has gone up since I've got the new controls.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the more.
Have you tried track and field bits since you upgraded?
I have actually, and the
you
joystick.
You can do that thing.
Well, I'm better with the joystick.
All right.
I'm pretty awesome with the joystick.
You're
But
good at
unfortunately,
high speed,
I'm good at that. Yeah, plenty of practice. Unfortunately, I don't think any track and field actually had a joystick.
No.
It's all key.
It's always been
all
the buttons.
keys.
Because people used to sit and do that kind of thing.
Well, my mate John Studley, who's a bit of you can play Pac-Man, I've witnessed him use track and field, and it's just insane.
It's just a blur.
It's just like, it's just, but times by 10, you know what I mean?
People used to put a lighter down with a pencil in it and rock the pencil at high speed because you could just kind of do that and rattle them.
Yeah.
Cheap game back then.
But I mean, MAME, and even now, I mean, it's, as I've said before, just being able to play arcade games. You're probably the same, Dave. Where were you born and bred? You came from Edinburgh. So, did you have many arcades?
We used to go down to Portobello all the time, or Leisureland up the bridges, as we used to say.
I don't know.
There was a couple.
Did you ever go to LA's on Lothian Road?
Oh, aye, that was one of my favourites.
That was,
Shinobi and Outrun and all that.
How often did you go to the arcades then? Was it
when I was a kid, it was maybe once a month. It was a big kind of treat. But as I got a bit older, I was in there twice a week.
So I mean, hailing from Livingston in central Scotland, there was no real arcades nearby. The nearest one was Bathgate, and I only went there when I used to go to college. So, my exposure to arcade games was pretty much the home port. So when I mean, I knew what Outrun was, and that I used to go to Blackpool now and again, but generally like. Trying to think like Terra Cresta and Slap Fight and all these games, even like Robotron and that. I'd never played the arcade games, and I used to love them on the C64, and then seeing them and suddenly this MAME came out, and it's like, wow, it's just like somebody giving you all these games to play.
It's amazing. I mean, we could fill a whole episode talking about arcades because I used to love. I mean, I can tell you the arcades that I played games for the first time.
You can remember where you are. I'm the same. You can remember I played that one on that arcade.
I remember playing Space Harrier for the first time down in Blackpool, and it was 50p a shot. This was when games were still 10p a go. It was 50p a shot, and I remember playing it. There was a big queue, and I remember playing it, and I put my credit in, and I got rattled pretty much straight away. So I put another 50p in, and I was playing it, and I was getting no bad, and it was a big hydraulic cabinet that you sat in. So the whole thing was rocking about, and I was like, "This is amazing," because I was like 10 or something like that, and it was the best thing I'd ever played. And my mum, bless her, was standing in the queue, and I'm like, I need more money, I'm running out of credits. And so she buggered off and got like a $5 worth of change and came back and spent a fortune in this thing.
Did you complete it? No.
No, to this day I've never completed it.
One thing that's always bugged me, it's always got me thinking, any version any version of Space Harrier you play is that after the second level, it comes up for like more episodes. It comes up with this message, and I thought, oh, is that a message that's put in the home versions? But it's in the arcades as well. Did it do that in the arcade?
Never got that far.
It's not that far. It's maybe only the second, third level. It actually comes up with a pop up that says like, it comes up with a message, something about like for more levels, and I thought that's a strange thing to put in an arcade game.
Aye, it's probably just to keep you chucking money.
Aye, maybe it must have been because it's.
I honestly can't remember seeing that. I mean, I've played probably the first 2 levels of Space Harrier, but I keep getting killed. And it's a kind of game that I kind of mind if it was an analog joystick that it used, but there's nothing really kind of controlled.
Nah, that replicates.
So unless you're playing it at like.
It was just a big kind of.
Yeah, it was the same kind of thing as like.
Quick 2 joysticks sort of thing, like aye.
Like Thunderblade and Afterburner used the same kind of stick, and that kind of L-shaped one that kind of stood out. But it's a game I enjoy playing, but I wouldn't chuck a lot of money at it now for credits.
Well, that kind of rolls on to the next kind of part of this question. Like we've discussed the wonders of emulation. It gives you access for, let's face it, probably free access to all these games that you've never ever likely to play, and it's all in one place. I mean, I've just put down here the Xbox. I made a video a few weeks ago. The Xbox is probably still, in my opinion, the best single piece of hardware if you want to play all these systems at home.
It's a great machine.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And considering it's only something like 600 megahertz, it's a really old Pentium chip.
Aye.
It came out in 2002.
The good thing is if you chuck the original Xbox into a CRT telly, because it's kind of 480.
Aye.
The arcade games look amazing on it.
It does. Well, even in that thing,
probably the closest you'll get to a real arcade machine.
That's right. I mean, I know some people actually use Xboxes, or did use Xboxes in their cabs, but that thing's bulletproof.
That's when I designed my first main cabinet, well, my main cabinet, I was going to put an Xbox in it because I was going to do a legal, as in not illegal, legal cab where the games are all on discs and stuff like that, so there's no ROMs and things like that. But that rapidly went down because there was just some games that you couldn't get for it. So, like Commando was one of my favourites, but.
What was I governing about again? Emulation is a wonderful thing. Obviously, the sort of purists. There's a lot of purists. In fact, just very quickly, I don't want to derail too much. What is your take on the minis? You've got the PlayStation Mini, the SNES Mini, the NES Mini.
Well, do you know, I'm a weird fruit because I kind of see these things come out and I go, a lot of shite, I'm not interested. And then the seed's been planted and it just kind of niggles away at me. So I've got a SNES Mini, I've got an.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm glad. Have you got them?
I've got the C64 Mini.
Got that there,
I haven't bought the PlayStation Mini.
Apparently it's now been hacked. You can bung all your.
Yeah, you can chuck a USB stick and away you go.
It's good to have. Have you got all the extra games in the C64?
I've got a few out because I upgraded. You can upgrade the firmware and then.
Well, I'll give you. I'll send you across an image you can.
All right, excellent.
Just stick them straight onto the SD card. There you go.
The one thing I haven't done yet is the joystick upgrade. You done that? Where people seem to start. I don't know.
That you physically change the joystick.
It must be like B.A. Baracus because I've played with the thing and I've not snapped it yet. But anyway, they take the screw and put a longer screw in it so that it's a bit more solid. But just be careful with your stuff.
I know. I've upset a few people over. I think I put out a video. What was it? And it's like I think it was like why the SNES Mini isn't shite. Because so many people say, it's crap, it's emulate. You know what? I'm looking at the camera here. It's 2019.
Yeah.
Things have moved on. We don't have to have. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a chip to not be real.
Yeah.
So what is emulation?
The thing is, and I think the SNES and the NES Mini are really nice wee machines. I mean, I haven't hacked them. The first thing that people do is hack it and go and put it on.
I did do that, I must admit,
I've not done that because the games for me have got a spread enough of the kind of catalogue.
Yeah.
Because that's one
thing. They are good games actually on it.
They're great and you spend more time because that's one thing I was going to say about emulation. If you've got, I see people kind of getting in their knickers in a twist because they want to download a complete MAME ROM set which is like 85 gig. what are you going to do with 55,000 games? You've never seen an arcade in your life that had 55,000, especially those 6,000 Mahjong games.
You wouldn't be alive long enough to play them all.
No, Christ, you'd need a nuclear power plant to power the bloody thing. But so the emulation thing, that's one thing that put me off it, and I've got multi-carts for most of my machines and things. See, firing up a machine and scrolling through a big list of stuff, that bores me to tears. You can never find anything. So my main card's got like 140 games on it. It's a condensed list of stuff that I'll play. So I quite like that the NES and the SNES and stuff, I've got a kind of smaller catalogue of games. Because there's games on there, there's games missing for there that I would love to have on it, but not enough to hack it. And I think that's the mindset a lot of people want to hack these things to get, like, have all the games.
I don't want everything.
You know, and it's crap because the NES Mini, even when you hack it, you can't. There's not enough space for all the games and all that kind of stuff.
Aye.
But you know, what do you need all the games for? So that's the trouble. I think if you've got too much stuff, you don't spend any time playing the games you've got. So I like them. I like that the controllers are full size and the machines look great. You know, the wee machines look cracking. And I think they're good for what they are.
I think for me, I've got an original SNES, I've got an original C64. And you know, you can't beat using it.
Of course,
there is something to be said, and it's hard to really describe why. But there is something to be said about sitting at a desk with a proper Amiga keyboard, Amiga mouse, picking the game and pressing the actual buttons.
Yeah,
you're doing that on a PC. It's just it's sterile.
It's not the same because then it's
lost interface.
It's like press F10 and you're like, what the hell's F10?
Aye,
all that kind of stuff.
Saying that, I think these mini consoles have a place because, as I was telling you earlier on, I mean, like real hardware it's got a finite life. I mean, I'm under no illusion that all my systems, my plethora of systems, they're eventually going to fall over, and when it does, I'm just going to get rid of them, and I won't replace them. There's maybe a couple of machines like the Amiga, the Commodore 64. I would buy a new one if it fell over. But in the main, the great thing for these is, I mean, if you brought a Commodore 64 and you said, I mean, I've got a 4K TV here. There is no way to plug a C64 into that. If you did manage to plug it in, how do I load a game? You need a tape, you need to rewind it, it might not work. I plug that in, put the HDMI cable in, boom, there's the games. Glorious. They've got all the scan line options, and they look amazing.
They look great.
It's to my mind, they're future proofing these systems to be used and enjoyed.
Like I was saying, I'm a kind of strange fruit because these things kind of get under my skin, and then I get obsessed with the bloody things. Because the NES and the SNES and the C64, I bought the NES and the SNES because I didn't really have any nostalgia for them. I never had them back in the day. My mate had a SNES, but I was always a Mega Drive guy. So that's why I've got a real Mega Drive and real cartridges, because I like all that thing. So, but having these systems where I didn't have the nostalgia for, but it's good to still be able to play the games. It's great, but it then started me doing the route of, like you're saying, future-proofing your kit. And I thought, do you know what? Should I just kind of get rid of all my stuff and use these mini consoles? Because you can get the mini consoles on pretty much everything. The Atari Flashback 9 that's coming out, and probably people will be starting to shout at the screen at the moment, but the Atari Flashback 9 that's come out in America, it's not out here yet, has got an SD card slot, so you can play all the homebrew stuff.
Oh, really? I mean, can you put all the...
And it's got like 120 games on it and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, it's not bad. Cause
this is the 2600?
Yeah.
I would buy that, yeah.
Well, you can. That's the thing, I mean, if you buy them here, they're stupidly expensive, but you can import them from Amazon. If you've got Amazon Prime, you get free delivery on it, and it's like $43 or something stupid like that. It's buttons.
Yeah, man, you can import. I could order some from America, Amazon.
Yes.
And it'll come over here for no extra cost.
Yes.
Seriously?
You'll pay import charges on it.
Aye.
But the import tax.
Because
I did that with the
I didn't even think
top
about
tip people. But yeah, so the Flashback, I thought, it'd be a lot easier just to do that and plug in the games, and it would future-proof stuff, and it would save space and all that kind of. But then for the Atari and things like that, where I've got nostalgia for it, it's all about getting that cartridge out of the box and plugging it in and having the proper joystick, because the Flashback comes with wireless joysticks as well. Wrong. Yeah, so they're really good for what they are, and I think if my systems all died, then I would maybe probably look at that route rather than placing the real hardware. But
I think, I mean, when you think about the evolution of the TV connection, we've got HDMI, and then the one before that was, well, it's Component. That doesn't even do Component, that TV. Then you had obviously SCART, there's no SCART sockets in that thing. Then you had, was it RF?
Yes, RF.
Now I spent a lot of time trying to get my ColecoVision. No, in fact it wasn't a ColecoVision, there was a hilarious video that myself and Neil put out of us trying to tune the Binatone TV game.
Oh my god.
And it was the TV that I bought from yourself, but I didn't have the remote control.
All right.
And we were just trying to, and
pressing button.
The best picture we got, it was like that. And so, you know, we've already reached the stage where you simply can't play games that use RF unless you've got, I mean, CRT TVs are becoming very hard to find now.
They are. And I mean, I did an RF mod on my Atari 2600, so it uses RGB.
Oh, brilliant,
rather than RF, because like that, it was just getting too hard.
So we've already got to the situation where really playing Atari 2600s or there's ColecoVisions or any, even, well, yeah, you've got SCART things for like C64, but these older original systems, they're virtually impossible to use now. Yeah. Unless you're real die-hard geeks like us.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You know, you'll still piss about with the RFs trying to tune TVs. Imagine saying a 15-year-old go and get that, tune the TV, they'll be, what?
Tune the telly, what?
How do I cast it to the screen? I mean, that we're now casting stuff.
I know.
You know, maybe the next gen, maybe the PlayStation 5, you'll cast it to the TV. You know,
God knows, I don't know where it's going.
You know what I mean? But
it does, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, so emulation has definitely got its place. Because, you know, and I saw the minis, I think they've got their place because they're future proofing.
Yeah, I mean, they are not a replacement for the real hardware, but they're a real easy way to have a shot at it.
To enjoy the old games.
Yeah.
And when I was at the computer club, it was last year, we set up, it was an R-Type in the SNES, which has got slowdown.
Right. And
one of the guys had these real SNES, and we ran them both side by side, and the SNES Mini slowed down as well, which I thought was excellent.
It's
so I don't know what they've done, the timing's like spot on, you know what I mean?
Well,
and I think the interface of these Minis is amazing, especially, I'm going to say the Nintendo, the fact you can rewind games and
save states and all that kind of stuff.
I know the purists are going, oh, you know, burn the heretics, you know, crap, you know. Arse, you know, but it's all about the games for me.
It's just about having,
and if it can, it's opening, it's letting people enjoy games.
It's just have a bit of fun. Play the games for what they are and just have a bit of fun.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Definitely.
The flip side, I was watching your last video. You were talking about emulation, the downside to emulation. Well, you've already touched on the fact that too much isn't always a good thing.
Yeah.
Too many games.
Too many choices. Like I say, I mean, it's certainly for me, I mean, the reason I'm fortunate enough to have a games room is that you can walk about and look at the boxes of the games and think, because if you're anything like me, sometimes you'll say, right, I'm going to go and play something and I don't know what I'm going to go and play. And then I try and think, right, what kind of thing do I fancy playing? And I'll think, I fancy playing the Amiga, and then I'll look at my Amiga games and think, right, because I still use discs. I've got the WHD load and all that kind of stuff set up, but sometimes I like just to fire a disc in.
And wait in it, load it, and listen to it.
And all the noises and everything that's going on.
Have a good old sniff of the manual.
Yes, that's it. Keyboard fetish and sniff the manual. But so for me, having that kind of tangible thing where I can go and look at a box and think, I fancy one, I didn't fancy that one, and having a look, you know, whereas if I've got a list on screen of every Amiga game ever released, I'm just going to scroll up and down and go, I can't be asked for this, and do what you do and watch YouTube videos on it, because I waste my life watching YouTube. I don't watch TV, I work for a TV company and I don't watch TV.
Take it from me, kids, you're ruining your life watching YouTube. Switch this off now, get out and get some exercise.
I wonder how long it'll be, you know, you can get like Alcoholics Anonymous and drug users on, I'm a YouTube, hi, my name's Dave and I'm a YouTube
I've been free of YouTube for 6 months.
That's it, you'll get a wee silver badge with a playable on it. But it's ridiculous. I mean, it's because everything's changed the way you watch telly and stuff. I do watch YouTube. That's my main connection.
That's pretty much my kind of video platform of choice. You know, you can just watch it on demand. But one side of emulation that my thing is arcade games, and you're probably pretty much the same.
Yeah.
The big thing about arcade games as we'll appreciate, arcade games were made. They basically replaced the one-armed bandits. They were designed to make money.
Yes.
They were to draw you in, take your cash as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. They weren't particularly designed to be mega playable.
No.
You know, they were stupidly hard for a reason.
Yeah, quick hits, give me your money. Look at this big flashy thing.
Aye. You know, they say it was the average person lasts on like 40 odd seconds. Is it 2 minutes at a game or something?
Something stupid.
Some games, it is. And when you play some games, they're just ridiculously.
They are. I mean,
they're not ridiculously hard, but they're just really difficult.
The thing is, I think good arcade games would draw you in because if you're in like me, you'd walk around. Because when I used to go on holiday and stuff, you'd save up your pocket money in the arcades, or if you were visiting, you'd have a couple of quid, and you'd go and get your change, and you had to think. You know, you'd maybe have enough for 10 or 12 games or something. So you had to walk around the arcade and look at all the different games and suss out what you wanted to play, and then you'd look at the kind of track mode and see what kind of game it was and things. Especially if a new game turned up and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to put my money in that. But you'd have a look and you'd kind of pick the game you wanted to play, you'd put your 10 pence in, you'd have a shot, you'd get absolutely humped. And a good game would have you put another 10p in. A bad game, you just go, I can't be arsed with that.
Aye.
You know, and that's all the kind of classics of the games that you didn't feel that you'd been robbed when you died, you know, or your game was over or whatever. You thought, right, okay, I need to learn this. I can see what I need to do, and I saw what I did wrong, but I'm going to have another shot. And you got a little bit better and a little bit better, and then they become your favourite games and all that kind of stuff.
There was something so magical about, like, say for example, like, you know, Galaxy, you'd stand and look at it, and you could just, if you didn't have any money, you just watch that track mode.
Yeah.
And then you would drop 10 pence in, and suddenly it would come up, press player 1 to start. It's like, wow. You suddenly, it's like the doors are open to the Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Exactly.
And then when the game ended, you were kicked back out, and you were like, it was like, you had to just look at it again. But, you know, it made a wee noise, you dropped that coin in. It's like,
I used to walk about the arcades and press, because the coin doors used to have a wee kind of flap on the coin return.
Oh, aye.
So you press the buttons, and sometimes you go about and there'd be a wee 10 pence in there, and you got a free game or something. Or the guy with the magic keys would come and open.
What was it? There was clickers. There was it like cigarette deals or something?
Oh, there was guys.
There was like things like clickers. You could get free credits and that kind of stuff. I never actually
stuff, but I don't know. I never got into that. But the guy that used to kind of open the door and kind of flick a few free credits on it. Oh, this is great. But that was.
But yeah, so I mean that was. We're talking about emulation. I mean, so the whole draw of arcade games is to get you to put money in.
They were simple, quick.
One thing that I do, and you touched on it in your video about, you know, you can just fire in 20 credits.
Yeah.
20 credits.
Oh, a main cab.
Continue. One thing that I do even now is I refuse to continue in a game.
Yeah.
I always go back to the start.
Yeah.
Now I know that probably games like Ghosts and Goblins are virtually impossible unless you're an absolute gaming ninja.
Yeah.
They were designed to be continued.
Absolutely.
And how would you know, what do? Do you see yourself, I mean, you know, I know your name cab, you've actually you put money in it.
I've got a coin door because I thought if I'm going to build an arcade cabinet, I want it to be a proper experience. So you didn't walk up to an arcade cabinet unless you had the magic keys and you get free goals. Yeah. So you have to go up and put
You've
your
got to
money.
limit yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So what I do is anybody that comes around my house for a gaming night, I've got Namco tubs that I go for the Namco arcade in London, and they get £1 worth of change. So that's 10 shots basically for all those that don't know what a pound is if they're American viewers and that kind of stuff. So you get 10 goes basically, and you have to limit yourself and you pick what game you want to play. Because I mean, I could rattle 5,000 credits into it if I wanted to. But picking your game and putting 10 pence in and having a go like you did back in the day, and then you think, right, am I going to have another shot at that? Am I going to play something else? Now, I've got like 20 quid worth of change sitting there. It's not as if you're limited to that. But even to this day, and that's why I've never completed Space Harrier, I'll say, right, I'm going to have 20 pence, 2 credits on whatever game I'm playing, and I'll have a couple of goes, and then I'll play something else, because that's what I did back in the day. I'd have a go with
it's all about self-regulation, eh?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I mean, I've watched, there's a few, you know, I've watched YouTube videos of people playing it with infinite continues, and it just becomes a pointless exercise. You get to a bar, you just continue.
Yeah,
continue.
You could rattle through even the hardest games, you know, you could rattle through R-Type in 15-20 minutes.
Oh, right, easily.
And that's it done.
Easily, yeah. But and then that game is effectively lost on you.
Yeah,
you would never want to play it again.
And there's no sense of achievement. You know, I mean, I've watched my mate can complete RoboCop, and I've watched him do it, and it was amazing to see, because I've never seen the end of RoboCop. Well, no, I've never done it.
Game,
I've seen the end of it. I can complete Operation Wolf on one credit, and my mate was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen that before." So some games you do get, it's through skill and building.
Of course it is, and that's all.
And that for me is part of the fun as well. You know, you see these guys doing the one credit completions, and that's through skill. That's no, you know, continues. That's just through learning the game and learning patterns or whatever else.
Yeah.
And that's what arcade gaming's about. You never had, you know.
And I think if you didn't self-regulate, then games are just going to become utterly pointless. I know that I can put my main cab on in the kitchen, put my dinner in the oven, and I'll have maybe 3 goes of Berserk.
Yeah.
And then if I die, I just come right back out and I just go back in again.
Yeah.
And die and right back in again, and that's.
Well, that's it. I mean, the thing is,
you get a high score. Beauty. I just put my high score.
Exactly. And there's still fun in putting a high score on it if you're just on one credit. The thing is, if you invest the time or money or whatever to buy or build a main cabinet, it would be like your centipede cabinet, because you're spending a decent wad of cash on this main cabinet, and if you rattle through and complete all your games, you're going to have a big dust collecting thing in the corner, because you're never going to play it again. You might fire it up occasionally, but there's no drawback to it if you've completed everything that's on it. You know, or then you start downloading all the thousands of weird and wonderful Japanese ROMs and everything that you just get silly.
The thing is, I'm sure a lot of games, arcade games, I mean, certainly the early games, it was just the same thing. I mean, Space Invaders is the most pointless game ever.
I love it.
I love it as well. You shoot them all and they just reappear. You shoot them all and they reappear. It's just a never end. You're going to die. You're not going to beat it. You'll never beat the game.
But it's all about chasing scores.
And it's high score. Getting a high score there.
And there's a question for you. Now, really, you kind of touched on it, but the Galaxian series, there's Galaxian, Galaga 88 or something like that.
There was Gapless. Gapless as well, yeah. I've never really.
What's your favourite out of that?
Galaxian.
Aye.
See, I think
you and I are probably the only people on the planet that love Galaxian more than.
It's just it's the same in 1942. I'm not interested in 1943.
Yeah.
1942 is you with one cannon.
Yeah, that's it.
And you've got to earn the wee planes. Whereas other 1943, you get given all that at the start.
Aye.
I want to earn my weapons.
Yeah. Now that's it. I mean, I've always been a Galaxian guy. Galaxian's probably my favourite arcade game from that kind of era. And yeah, the Galaga or whatever you want to call it, it's alright, and I know a lot of people prefer it over Galaxian because there's more to it, but I prefer the simplicity. To me, Galaxian was a good upgrade on Space Invaders.
Oh, aye.
You know, so I love Space Invaders, and to have a sort of full colour thing where there was extra stuff because the guys then swoop down on you. I thought that's great, and that's all the gameplay I need for that kind of shooting game, you know, that Invaders type game. So Galaxian's great for me. I can't be bothered with Galaga.
It's just it's like a shoot 'em up in its purest form, eh? I don't know. It's hard to describe. Yeah, you could probably say, you know, Galaga, you got the double ship and all that kind of stuff. It's more fun. You power ups and that. I just like, and don't get me wrong, I love something like R-Type. Yeah. That's, you know, it's got power. It's a different type of genre sort of thing. But yeah, for me, it's all about the
bonus stages in Galaga where the thing. I don't know if it's OCD or something, where the ships come down and you've got to try and rattle for bonus points. See if I didn't get them all. I'm like, no, switch it off. It must be some completionist OCD thing. I don't know what.
I can usually do the first level, but is it level 5 or something? I can't. That's the next bonus level. I can't get it at all. But the other point of like sort of downside, there's one game. There's probably more than one game. Yeah, there's more than one game. One game which I used to love in the arcades, which is completely pointless. I've never ever play it ever again. Is Gauntlet.
Alright, I love Gauntlet in the arcade.
But would you play it now? Because it's...
I don't know, I've dipped into it on the cab, but...
It's quite a hollow experience. When you actually strip it back, I don't think it's that good a game. The whole point of the game was fighting for food, fighting your mates to grab the food. It's all about survival.
Aye.
It's all about surviving.
When your mate shot the food, you'd rattle them out.
Aye, and you've only got 50 pence. Oh shit, I've got another coin in.
And it was destined. Aye, it was
Green Elf is about to die. Shit, dong, dong. You're running.
Don't shoot the food.
But then it's utterly, it has been made completely pointless now. Infinite credits.
I know, because
I wouldn't play it now.
you put 10 pence in, and while you were looking at the screen figuring out what to do, you just noticed that your health was ticking, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Is that right? Seriously?
Your health starts to go down. It's basically a time game.
Really? Aye.
So, I mean, you can see the advances that they did. You know, it was they had started to do Atari had started to do different things, and I think that was one of the first games that had the kind of speech and sound and all that.
Oh, it's an amazing game, and I would love to. I'm just contradicting myself. I'd love to win a gauntlet 4-player card. You know,
it's huge for a start.
Yeah,
it's massive. And yeah, I mean, I never played it before 4 players. I played it with like 2-player and stuff like that, but. I mean, I've got it on my cab and I'll dip in and have a quick shot and then remember that I don't actually like it that much and play something else.
Because it's the whole mechanics are lost given you've got infinite energy.
Yeah, and it just gets a wee bit repetitive.
You know, you can rattle in 20, you end up with 20,000 energy, and it just becomes it's like playing the invulnerability switch or something.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it was good that you could pick your own route, you know, jump to different levels quicker and all that kind of stuff. So
you've just touched on another slight bit of OCD with me. that doesn't lie comfortable with me. Skipping levels. It's the same with like Super Mario Brothers. You can jump at the top of the screen and run along and do it. You know, I want to see the full game.
I mean, I'm the same. Pac-Land's another one. You can pick your start level in Pac-Land to a certain extent. I think you can pick the first 3 levels or something like that, but I never do.
No, you want to play. You've got to work it. I don't know. It must just be a bulk with beards thing or something. I don't know. It's a Scottish thing.
Maybe it's like, no, I'm going to get proper value for money. I'm not cheating. I'll miss a third.
Maybe it was the thing when you got your dinner, you're not getting your sweet until you've eaten all your dinner. You had to clear your plate until you moved on to the next level. You know?
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, we're dissing Gauntlet. It's a wonderful game.
It's a great game.
It was never written with. Atari never imagined that 30 years later people would be playing on a computer.
No, exactly. It's a great game. I think just things have advanced that much now that it's not aged brilliantly.
Yeah.
But you know, you can give it the plaudits for what it did. You know, that multiplayer experience and the kind of being able to choose your own levels and all that kind of stuff, and the amount of stuff on screen is phenomenal for what it was, because it doesn't really slow down either.
And again, if you know, it's all coming down to self-regulation. If you self-regulate, say, right, well, let's have a game of Gauntlet. Like, you've got 5, you've got 50 pounds each. Yeah. 5 continues, you know. But
to be honest, I'll probably be bored out by the end of the first credit.
I find it quite boring, honestly.
But we're probably in the minority.
But,
along beside relaxing.
So anyway, I think we've covered everything about emulation, the good and bad points of emulation. I mean, it's certainly a thing. If you don't have a lot of money, you've not got the space. Because let's be honest, like, buying machines does cost a lot of money. It's a wonderful way to experience things. The only downside now is obviously the old Nintendo gate taking down ROMs. I mean, how hard does that actually hit the sort of scene? Are they still available? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't dig that deep. There's a site called theoldcomputer.com, not sponsored, and that's where I go because they've got pretty much. You have to pay to use it. Well, you don't have to pay to use it. You can get some access for free. So kind of older machines you can get, so like C64 and all that kind of thing. But if you want, like, they have complete main set, ROM sets and things, and they're all organised by main version. So it's really well kind of organised, and it's like £10 a year. So I've subscribed to that for years. I keep forgetting to switch off my subscription, but it means that I can go in and get whatever. So like Neo Geo CDs, you can download the images for that. And their stuff's kind of quality checked. I've never found a kind of bad ROM from them, so it's kind of worth it. But they had Nintendo stuff, all the Nintendo machines, but they had a big banner on it saying, you know, Nintendo have shut this down basically. So, you know, by compliance, there's no Nintendo stuff.
What's your take on that? Do you think Nintendo are the evilest company ever with closing down these sites?
I can see why they're doing it. I think they're being stupid. I get that they want to kind of, you know, keep their own copyright and look after their own IP, but I think they're forgetting about the retro gamers that are keeping Nintendo alive to a certain extent. You know, they wouldn't have sold any of the NES or SNES minis to a modern market. It's all the guys like us that have
people
bought it.
like ourselves, yeah.
You know, and I think they're cutting their nose off to spite their face a little bit with their older machines. You know, I mean, there's been rumours of like the N64 mini and all that coming out, which would be cool if they did. But again, I think they're just being a bit stupid, to be honest. What's your take on it? What do you think?
Aye, I'm kind of split a wee bit. I mean, I put a video a couple of weeks ago. It was, I don't know if you've seen the N64, the Commodore 64 version of Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I saw a video of it and for about 20 minutes before it disappeared off the face of the planet.
Well, I did that. Actually, what I did was I recorded me playing the NES one, and then I had that running, the video running, and I was trying to duplicate the C64 one.
Right.
So I've had them kind of run side to side. But anyway, I diverse.
The Nintendo SWAT team smash through your window.
Apparently the guy has been working on this game for 7 years, and it was taken down instantly. It can still be found, obviously, in various places. And people are saying, "Oh, evil Nintendo." At the end of the day, it's intellectual property. It belongs to Nintendo. With that version existing on the internet, is that going to damage any potential sales?
Absolutely not.
No, probably not. Is somebody going to go, "Oh, I was going to buy Super Mario Bros. On the Switch, but I've just looked at that on the Commodore 64 and the game's actually crap, so I'm not going to buy it." Unlikely. People that are going to play the Commodore 64 version, as you say, are going to go out and buy the Switch. They're going to go out and download the better versions. I understand why they've done it. Have they been harsh? Probably.
Well, I mean, they got to the point, didn't they? Like YouTube videos, if you played any Nintendo music, they would put a strike against your channel and all that kind of stuff. And it's like,
that's free advertising.
Oh, exactly.
Don't get me wrong. Some people might, could obviously use it. So this is crap. But
like I say, I think, especially with the retro gaming stuff, I think they're cutting their nose off to spite their face. They're forgetting that it's a huge market, and being arsey about it and shutting all this stuff down. I don't think it's the right way.
You speak to, if you went up to a shopping centre and you stopped 100 guys who are agencies, have you played Super Mario Bros. On the Commodore 64? They'd probably just look at you like you're stupid. I don't play video games, mate. No, it's the die-hard nerds.
Exactly. But you know the mad thing is I mean, Atari are still going. They're not. It's just a company that's got
T-shirts. Exactly. T-shirts from Next.
Exactly. I know it's mad, but look, Atari are still going, and they still own all the new version of Atari. Still owns the IP of all the previous stuff. Sega are still going, but Sega don't chase people down for ripping off ROMs and stuff, and they've got some of the best first-party IPs. They don't shut them down. If you download the Outrun ROM, Sega don't come knocking at your door and say get rid of that immediately. And neither do Atari. So they kind of know their market, whereas Nintendo are just, I think they're just being arsy about it. And I get why they're doing it from an IP point of view, but they're not losing any sales by somebody downloading Super Mario on the Commodore 64. So, and they're just going to put people off, because I think I've not played it. I've seen a bit of a video, and I think the guy did an amazing job being it, and to have that dedication to sit for 6 years and code that.
He obviously knew full well as soon as at least it was going to get taken down. You wouldn't have been that naive, but it's there. There's videos, out there. What's interesting, I mean, I've been making videos. I think I've made something like 1,300 videos, which is crazy.
That's some amount of time to talk
about. And I put out a Super Mario Bros. Game. It's got something like 5,000 views.
Nice.
Mental, but
3,000 will be.
I'm just kind of conscious of time. I'm looking at my GoPro. The battery's probably going to start flashing in a minute. According to that, it's 1 hour 20 now. If you're still with us at this point, thanks very much.
Wake up!
I think we're going to have to leave my waffle questions for another day. I think, mate. Just before my battery runs out, I don't know if yours is still recording.
I've no idea.
Did you remember to start it?
I hope so.
Just very quickly before we go, the other thing I was going to talk about, what makes classic arcade games so appealing, we've already touched on that. It's the instant gratification, it's a challenge.
Short, sharp hits.
Aye, it is. It's like boom, just draws you in. We'll just touch on one last thing. You've got here Dream Games Room. Would you care to embellish?
So I was going to ask you, it was somebody was talking about it. I've been listening to a pinball podcast, Pinhead's podcast, and they were talking about what would be in their Dream Games Room. So they talk about new pinball games that are coming out, and they're like, would that be in your Dream Games Room, or is it not a game you're interested in? So if you said you won the lottery, what would
unlimited budget, yeah.
Aye, what would your dream? But I thought bring it back a wee bit. So if you had 10 grand, so you've got an empty room, right?
I can afford say five arcade cabinets, something like that.
Yeah, so you've got 10 grand. It can be whatever you want: pinball, arcade, other machines, whatever you like. But what would your Dream Games Room have?
Dream Games Room. I'm going to cheat a wee bit because I watched your last video and you were kind of talking about what's going to be your future games room. Right. Cab wise, I mean, if you ask me tomorrow, I'd be a different 5 cabinets. Yeah. You know what? There's some classic cabs that you'd love to own, but I don't necessarily play them. Yeah. Like I would love a Star Wars sit down, but I don't really play it. I would love to have that. But if I was really pushed to sort of 5 cabs, Robotron, Berserk, Galaxian, Track and Field, and Rolling Thunder.
No, aye. Alright, after you Rolling Thunder.
Aye, I love Rolling Thunder. I did that Why I Love Rolling Thunder this last week actually, and it's quite an unusual thing, but I'm not a big fan of music in arcade games because I think they detract from the like trying to play shoot 'em up with music. No, I want to hear the sound effects. Yeah. But Rolling Thunder, the music in Rolling Thunder, it's phenomenal. You took that out, you'd be like, nah.
Aye,
you know, it's like watching Jaws without the music. Oh, there's a shark. Where's the girl getting drowned? You know, you need the music really enhances it. It drives
you along. It's a great wee.
But I would maybe change it again if you asked me again. But yeah, they would probably my 5. So they 5 cabs. I would definitely want a pool table. 100% a pool table, probably American 9-ball pool table. Want a jukebox, dartboard as well, a bar with free drink. Anything else?
Do you have a pinball machine?
Aye, I probably would actually. I've never been a pinball table fan purely because it's not been something I've ever really had the chance to play.
Yeah.
But when I was down at Insomnia a couple of weeks ago, I was playing AC/DC and it's wicked. And I've got a Pinball Arcade. I've got it on the PC, and it is bloody brilliant. It is excellent. It's got something like 50. I think it's a ton. I go and it's got something like 50 tables on it, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's really
Pinball Arcade is really good. I've got it on my PS4. I don't know what I have never played pinball. I went to Paris years ago, and in the foyer at the airport they had 2 pinball machines. One of them was Star Trek: The Next Generation. I thought, well, I'm a Star Trek nerd. Let's go and have a go with this. So
you know that Ian Collins got that? Yeah, did you?
No.
So excuse a little second, guys. I'm just going to show. I was at Ian's house a few weeks ago. Sorry, just talk amongst yourself, guys. Wait a minute. Here's my videos.
Well, while you find that, I'll tell our viewers and listeners about this. So they had the Star Trek pinball there, and I'd never really played pinball. I was always a video guy, and I had a shot of it. And the fact that it had the call-outs and kind of sounds and everything, and different things you could do. Once you actually got into the nuances of it, I thought, this is quite interesting. I quite liked it. You're going, is that an advert?
It looks like, there you go. Well, that's jumping. Sorry guys, I'm just letting the
music.
I know. What's those?
It's a tart. It's got a coloured D&D upgrade on it as well. That's really nice.
It's rather nice. It is. It's wicked. The sound that comes out of that as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, Star Trek pinball. And I had never really been a pinball guy, but that kind of gave me a bit of a bug. And fast forward a few years, and now I've got the Pinball Arcade on the PS4. I've got Zen Pinball is in PSVR, and the PSVR pinball's fantastic.
Is that on the PS4?
Yeah.
What is it worth? What tables have you
Well, in the Pinball Arcade, I've actually bought the first 2 seasons on disc.
Aye, but what like the VR ones? I'm quite
The VR are
curious as to-
original tables, so it's no. It's not like,
right. And they're worth getting then, are they?
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
Is it? So
Because
it's
it
like
looks-
PSVR?
PSVR, and it looks like you're
really?
standing in front of a real pinball machine.
Oh, really?
And you can look about the machine, obviously, and do all your stuff.
How many tables do you get and how much is it? You know?
If you buy everything, the tables are about £3 or £4 each, and I think there's 8 or 10 tables available for it now. I think you can download it with one free table, if I remember.
Well, maybe give me the ones that are worthwhile getting.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's one Mars. There's a table called Mars, or the Martian, I think, and it's fantastic.
So is it like the app? No, it's not the app. Is it like free to download? You get to buy the game.
Yeah.
And you get one table with
it's,
it.
it's free to download, and I think you get one with it, or you get a timed demo or whatever.
Right.
But it's well worth
That's
it.
my night sorted tonight.
Aye.
Once upload this behemoth of a video.
But it is. It's a cracking. The PSVR is great.
So Zen Pinball. You said
Zen
it's called.
Pinball, yeah. But I've been installing Future Pinball, which is a free piece of software for the PC, and it's a bit like MAME where you download the tables like ROMs and it plays it.
Aye.
But you can play that in cabinet mode, so like if you've got a 40-inch telly, you put that on its arse and it looks like a real pinball table.
Well,
So I'll be putting that in a cabinet and building a Future Pinball cabinet at some point,
nice.
amongst all the other crap that I'm going on.
Are you up for building a mate? One of these as well, no?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you.
So I don't know why I became such a kind of pinball addict or something. I think it's just it's something totally different. And every table, I really like they call them EM tables, the old tables that have got like bells and stuff in them. They just ding. They're quite simple, but they're really playable. Modern tables like the AC/DC table and stuff like that, they're alright, but there's too much going on for me. I prefer the kind of simpler tables, so it's sort of mid-90s.
Bagatelle.
That's it.
With nails.
That's it.
Steelies. Aye.
But nah, so pinball's become a kind of side addiction for me, which is quite mad. But
It's a different. I'll not tell you how much Ian paid for his cab. He did tell me it's a lot of
It's
money.
an investment.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
some of these, I thought for a laugh, I'm going to be building a games room. Let's see how much a real pinball table is. You're talking 15 grand for a new table.
For a new one.
Aye. So a new in-box
Price of a family saloon.
Exactly, because they released like Batman 66, the classic Adam West Batman, brand new table, brand new, and it's like 14.5 grand.
Jeez.
That's a lot of money. So you see these pinheads that have got like 10, 12 tables, oh, even second hand, you're talking like 4 or 5 grand for these machines, and that's in America, So over here you kind of pay not quite double that, but it's. The price to dollar thing doesn't really work, but we just get humped here.
Aye.
But
and as good as emulation is, I mean, I would imagine that you can never really truly recreate the tactile feel.
No,
of the table.
pinball's a very tactile thing. Being able to
It's
shift
mechanical. It's a mechanical game, and
Yeah.
you can't make a mechanical thing become
No.
a digital game.
You can do lots of tricks with mercury switches and that to pretend you're
Yeah.
nudging the thing, but it's never going to be the same as kind of smacking up.
It's going to be something that the majority of people would use. There's not many people can afford a pinball table.
It's the old thing like having a real arcade cabinet. It's convenient. You can get a lot of tables in it, and if it breaks, you can fix it easily. And you're not going to chuck a huge wad of cash into one machine that you might eventually go, I'm kind of bored of this, and sell it. Plus the space it's going to take up. But yeah.
No, I'm certainly looking forward to watching your pinball table
Coming soon.
project. Well, obviously you've got your whole double garage project.
The whole thing, the handmade arcade
And
is going to be a new channel.
You said you're going to be that. It'd be interesting to see.
Because I'm going to do the whole thing from designing a main cabinet to designing a pinball cabinet, how you set it all up, all the kind of stuff you have to think about. Then there'll be the actual build videos of kind of cutting the bits of wood and painting it and all that. And at the moment the garage is just a garage. It's like breeze block walls. There's nothing in it apart from
And you get it insulated.
Insulating, get all the plaster
lighting,
and everything and work it out. So all that's going to be filmed and put up on YouTube.
So you're doing it as a separate side
channel,
side
thing, Just
why are you choosing to do it as a separate side?
Just to kind of try and keep it all together, to be honest. Rather than a kind of retro gaming memories type thing. where that's just me talking crap about all the shit that goes on in my head. Whereas the other one will be a bit more kind of informative and sort of how-tos and the trials and tribulations, things that come up against. I've not started it yet.
So it's fascinating watching stuff like that.
It's the time it takes to research everything and suss out the right kit that you need and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I'll be talking about all that kind of rubbish.
Certainly look forward
So if
to
you
it.
have trouble sleeping, watch out for that.
Before I go, this man has got a rather fine YouTube channel, Retro Gaming Memories.
That's the one, yeah.
Link is down below. If you like it, then please subscribe. If you don't, then absolutely don't subscribe. But yeah, it's a wonderful channel. So on that bombshell, I think we better. My stomach's starting to rumble. I've got a 15-year-old child upstairs.
Yeah, you're looking a bit like a chicken at the moment.
Right, I'm going to get off. So anyway, listen guys, I think this is an absolute colossal Friday waffle. Thank you very much to Dave for joining me.
Thank you very much.
It's always good to have you along. We'll need to make this a more frequent thing, once a month or something if you fancy it.
Aye.
The door is always open, and obviously
Happy
I can come along to yourself as well, and
definitely.
we can get this done. So anyway guys, thank you for all your continued support
Yep,
on
thank you
both
very much.
my channel and Dave's channel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.